listening to Unravel with Natly Denise.
Hey guys, what's going on, muchachos y muchachas? Welcome to Nightly with Natly. I know this is, if it's not one thing, it's the other. Gosh, dude, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, guys. Honestly, it's it has to be a spiritual warfare type thing. I woke up to a strike this morning on my main channel, and I was like, well, shoot, dude, what am I gonna do? Because I was planning to do a video, and now I can't. So anyway, I found a little solution, and I thought, well, if it's of any value, I'll just do it straight from the source, and hey, maybe it'll work out. Maybe people will actually come here, instead of the main channel to participate or to view. So anyway, good evening, everybody. Thank you so much, Miss Elizabeth from Chile. Thank you for that. Thank you for your support. I really appreciate it. Guys, thank you for subscribing. For those that are subscribed, please grab the link and share it out with people and smash that like button. So that way this channel will be promoted. I mean, this channel is fresh on the skillet. So we'll see what happens. So as you guys can hear, I am getting a little better. My voice is less raspy, less coarse. I had laryngitis really weirdly at the end of last week. And I'm recovering, but it was just very strange because I don't know what I did to deserve laryngitis. You know what I mean? Like, I wasn't doing anything extraordinary or anything out of the norm. So anyway, thank you guys for, thank you to my mods out there. I see you, Boss, and Number One Hustler. Thank you so much for being there. And anyway, so let's go ahead and get started. Guys, so I just saw that Governor Abbott signed some sort of executive order. Hey, Boss, thank you so much. Thank you, Boss Supreme. Sorry for interrupting. Thank you, Boss Supreme. I really appreciate it. You were able to do it this time. I appreciate your support. But yes, so anyway, guys, Abbott signed this executive order today, okay? And I just want people to understand that the gubernatorial elections are next year, right? Like, I just want people to understand that there has always been time, there has been an assessment, there has been a lot of assessing time to really know, what actually is transpiring in our establishment. We call it government. And, a lot of people are like really applauding this, like, oh yay. And don't get me wrong, like it is a step in the right direction. Him kind of like, you're not going to mandate any sort of jab or any sort of, a poke in the arm, no matter what. And we're seeing it in light of pushback with the airlines and, specifically Southwest, as you guys know what's going on right now. Well, I just feel that he's sort of doing this as a way to save his behind in a way, because again, the gubernatorial elections are next year. Now, I'm not just going to go ahead and just discredit absolutely everything, in regards to the gubernatorials and him doing this whole executive order. I'm not going to discredit that. However, what I am going to bring up is this. I'm going to bring up this. I'm just going to remind you guys real quick that we've known all summer that this is going on, okay? We have known that this is going on all summer, that the borders are not secure. We know that, there's a lot of activity influxing our states, right? Especially the border states. Every state is now going to be a border state, okay? We've known this. We've seen an influx. Just a few weeks ago, we saw 𝘱𝘪𝘍𝑜, tens of thousands of immigrants just crossing over, right? We had a big time, sorry, that light was bothering me. We had a big time sort of, I don't know, like a media spin on the Border Patrol, at least. Guys, this isn't it. Like, Panama has warned that there is a caravan of approximately 60,000 migrants crossing over. 60,000 migrants crossing over. Let's not forget that. like, let's not, this is something huge. Let's not forget that there are 60,000 migrants that are coming over. Okay? So with that being said, you would think that that would have some sort of impact in the way that we secure our borders, in the way that we secure our state here, at least in Texas. You know, I'm just speaking for Texas. I'm in Texas. At least the way that we secure our state. So I don't want to completely discredit this because it is a step in the right direction. You know, I'm definitely not going to completely debunk that. But 60,000 migrants are on their way to the border right now. Okay? And they might go to Arizona. They might go to Texas. But the fact of the matter is that's still a factor to consider. So why hasn't he sealed the border? This is still a question. I want to remind you guys of this. Okay? I just want to remind you guys of this. So this was Tucker a couple weeks ago. Take a listen to what he had to question with Abbott. And this is a very good point.
Pictures of what's happened at our southern border, which is completely open, and this country is being invaded. No, that's not an overstatement. More than 1 million people this year expected by the rest of the world. This has been going on for months, and we've asked Texas Governor Greg Abbott many times to come on this show to explain why he hasn't called the National Guard to seal the Texas border and protect the rest of us from this invasion. Greg Abbott has refused to come on repeatedly. So pretty soon, possibly tomorrow, we plan to invite his primary opponents on the show to describe what they would do if they ran Texas. That might be an interesting conversation. We'd like to give Governor Abbott one more chance to come on sincerely. Please, come on and tell us how you plan to save the rest of us from what is happening in your state. Open this show with horrifying pictures of what's happened at our southern...
So, you know, I just want us to use logic here, right? Like, So yes, he's signing these executive, orders, and I don't want to completely discredit, like, it's the wrong idea. He shouldn't be doing this. It's the wrong thing to do, because definitely something is better than nothing, especially in a time of tyranny. Tyranny. You know what I mean? You know that word? Especially in a time of that. But why is it that there's something that can definitely be done about our border security, or about, a possible influx spike of cocoa? Because he even said in his little executive order, although these vaccines are nice and effective and all these things, it should always be your choice. Like, why are we going to straight up say that? Like, okay, so you definitely at some point agree with this sort of narrative about the vaccine, and that you're going to, that it should be somebody's choice, right? But also you're creating an influx by not forbidding people from coming over to into the country through our state in Texas. So I just want people to really, like, think about that, right? This is just, it's insanity to me that, this is something that people applaud, and they applauded when he relaxed the mask mandates and all these things. Great, but these were always our things to have anyway. These were ours. And I don't know. I feel like people just really need some logic, in this whole situation, because it's like, yes, great, you signed the mandate, the executive order or whatever. But how about the 60,000 people that are possibly coming over? You think that they're just all going to Arizona? There's a good possibility that they're also going to continuously cross into the breach points in Texas. So it's just confusing to me. I don't know. I'm just saying, I mean, these are just questions that I have. But I might be too critical, but in these times, it's always good to have a little critical thinking, So anyway, let's go ahead and get to some news I wanted to cover with you guys. All right, as far as the shortages, so it looks like there is some continual shortages that are happening. Guys, this is a bit worrisome. Now, I remember in June, I believe it was June. I was at the border, of course, I was starting out with some sort of border observations back in June. And back in I believe it was in Del Rio, Texas, actually, there was an 𝘱𝑒b there. And I went to the 𝘱EB. There were shortages galore. I mean, the entire 𝘮𝑬𝘳𝘵𝑠helves were cleared. There were chicken limitations. You could only buy like 2 packs of chicken. This was back in June. So this was already really, really concerning. But this is actually escalating, and it's really getting serious. I actually made a video on my main YouTube channel, which again is struck, unfortunately. But I made a video covering the cargo ships. The cargo ships are just kind of floating around the ports in the East and West Coast. There's the only reasoning they can give us is that there are cocoa measures and health mandates that they're enforcing. And so therefore, we can't unload these ships. That's their reasoning for this. Little shelves are starting to diminish. Stores across America have empty shelves thanks to a series of supply chain problems that are prolonging inflation that could stretch into the new year, with some retailers like Costco and Walmart limiting the amount of toilet paper in some stores. More than 60 cargo ships are in waiting dock in California, carrying hundreds of thousands of containers and may be stuck for months in a traffic jam after arriving from China and Asia. Millions of dollars of American goods are still sitting in warehouses in China awaiting shipment. There are similar problems with homegrown goods that can't be transported quickly enough by truckers or on freight trains. The problems, which have tormented business owners for months, but now have laid bare to American shoppers who are confronted with poorly stocked stores and rising prices on the items that they can find. Now, this is going to also, has been said that this is going to stretch into like the holiday season. So therefore, you're going to have a really expensive Thanksgiving or Christmas. And, that's the reality of this. Now, to me, this is just my opinion. It kind of seems a little bit intentional, just a little bit. It seems a little bit intentional. I don't know about you guys, but like, the whole thing doesn't make sense to me. When I read out the whole cargo ship dilemma about there being some cocoa measures that they were taking place, it's all because we're, health distancing and, there's a lot of concern over this and that. Like the article that I read off of last time literally mentioned 20 people that have died the entire planned apocalypse. They also mentioned that they were going to, or that they had hired a bunch of people because of that, but there was no other explanation or no other cause for a shortage of manpower. It was just the fact that they had some sort of health distancing mandates or health, some sort of health things, And it just seems really intentional. This just all seems very intentional. The inflation, the intentional shortage. There were some rumors going around online that I'm not gonna post something if it's not concretely sourced, like in an email or what I mean, like something that they actually say. Something that's leaked. But there were rumors online. I saw a tweet from a woman who claimed to be a wife of a logistics supply chain, CEO executive. And, what she had to say was like, this just seems all intentional. He's been in this industry for years, and somehow this is just it's caused, and it's an intentional cause. So this is the best thing I can say is, you guys, like right now, prepare. I mean, go prepare. I've been prepping, not consecutively, but I do have a storage, and I do have food. I do also have Patriot Supply, which is something that I also do. You could go to what is it? HTTP s semicolon / prepare with, oh, there we go. preparewithnatly.com. Yeah, I mean, it's getting scary. And I actually have my Prepare with Natly, stored somewhere safe and nice, but it's times like this that makes me think, like, before, when I got it, like when I actually first received my supply, I was like, I'm not going to need this. Like, it's good that I have it, but I'm not going to need it. But now, seeing the news every single day of diminishing supply, it seems more and more that this could be likely. Like, this could be a really likely thing. So all I can urge you guys is to, even back in the days, like, I was always preparing, and I was always urging you guys to prepare. There are podcasts where I was urging people to prepare. Keep doing it. I would say keep preparing. All right, so pivoting on to the next news. I'm doing pretty good with my voice. Okay, so there is apparently a submarine engineer. Him and his wife, they've been charged with passing secrets, espionage to a foreign government hidden in peanut butter sandwiches after being paid $70,000 in crypto. But actually, they were dealing with FBI agents. Now, there's some questions that I have about this, Here's the thing. Wait a minute. Am I on? No, I am. Am I on Unravel with Natly Denise? If you're in the comments, please comment whether I'm on Unravel with Natly Denise or if I'm on the main channel. I think I'm on Unravel. I commented and it showed up as whatever. Anyway, okay. So this submarine engineer, he got caught. But here's the thing. This is a question I have. Were the FBI actually doing their job? I know that there's good people in every industry, but were the FBI actually doing their job? Because that's surprising to me. It makes me wonder the content of why this submarine engineer was, trading secrets with the foreign government. There's still not a lot of things clear, but these are some details. From the Daily Mail, a U.S. Navy nuclear engineer and his wife have been charged with selling secret information about nuclear submarines to an undercover FBI agent who posed as an operative for a foreign country, the Justice Department said on Sunday. In a criminal complaint detailing espionage-related charges against Jonathan Toby, 42, and his wife Diana, the government said that he sold information for nearly the past year to a foreign power representative. The FBI says in April of 2020, Toby sent a package of Navy documents to a foreign government and wrote that this was he was interested in selling information on Virginia-class nuclear submarine reactors. The unidentified foreign government sat on the documents before turning them over to the U.S. December 2020 after the election. Toby was arrested in West Virginia, on Saturday, along with his wife, a teacher, after he had placed a removable memory card in a prearranged dead drop in the state, according to the Justice Department. A dead drop, for those of you that don't know. Okay, thank you guys. Thank you for confirming. I'm on Unravel with Natly Denise channel. For those of you guys that don't know what a dead drop is a method in which when like spies are transferring information from one another, or like a piece of necessary equipment, whatever, you know what I mean? Like information and equipment. So it could be like a card, a memory card, or whatever. A dead drop is when spies will put the object in a hidden object. So in this case, it was a peanut butter sandwich. And they'll in order to avoid contact with one another, they'll like put it in an open place. So in this case, I think it was at a park. They put the memory card in a peanut butter sandwich, and they just left it on a park bench or something like that. You know what I mean? So the engineer left it there, his sandwich, and then the other entity came and picked it up. So that's a dead drop, just for some information for you guys. He hid the encrypted memory cards in a peanut butter sandwich, a chewing gum packet, and a Band-Aid wrapper. 𝘱𝘬𝘏 worked for 15 months in the Office of Chief of Naval Operations, a top officer of the military's branch. He worked as a naval nuclear propulsion since 2012, including a secret technology device to reduce the noise and vibration of submarines, factors that give away their location. 𝘱𝘬𝘏 stated in a message that he had hoped the foreign government would be able to extract him and his family if he was ever tracked down, saying, "We have passwords and cash set aside for this purpose." Authorities say that he provided instructions for how the conduct of the furtive relationship with the letter said, "I apologize for this poor translation into your language. Please forward this letter to your military intelligence agency. I believe this information will be of great value to your nation. This is not a hoax." An undercover FBI agent posing as a representative of a foreign government made contact with 𝘱𝘬𝘏 and agreed to pay thousands of dollars in cryptocurrency for the information he was offering. The email showed that at first 𝘱𝘬𝘏 remained wary, but that he came to trust the undercover agent due to the hefty amount he was going to be paid. It was agreed that he would receive 100,000 in crypto, but he was paid 70,000 before he was caught. So, forwarding on, this is the detail, the deets on Mr. 𝘱𝘬𝘏. This is why it's like a big deal. It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird because it's like, again, they're doing their job. You know what I mean? Like, they're actually doing their job. So, according to public Navy records, he worked for 15 months in the Office of the Chief of Naval Operations, the top officer in the military's branch. Since 2012, 𝘱𝘬𝘏 has worked for the Navy, and he had high-level clearances in nuclear engineering. 𝘱𝘬𝘏 had started working in the military as a civilian in 2017. He was commissioned in the Navy and rose to the rank of lieutenant before moving to the Navy Rescue, which he left in December of 2020, the month the FBI established contact with him. According to court documents, he has worked with naval nuclear propulsion since 2012, including the technology device to reduce the noise of vibration of the submarines that can give away their location. He also worked on naval reactors in Arlington, Virginia from 2012 to 2014. He then was a student at the Naval Reactor School in Pittsburgh before returning to Arlington to work on reactors again. So this is the thing. The complaint alleges that violations of the Atomic Energy Act, which restricts the disclosure of information related to atomic weapons or nuclear materials. This is a little hint as to what could have been behind his information exchange and who he was in exchange with, because they haven't disclosed which foreign entity or foreign government that were included in this this whole exchange, which is still kind of concerning up to now. So it's unclear how many counts the couple who have 2 children live in Annapolis, Maryland face. However, the espionage carries a maximum sentence of 10 years under U.S. law. I think I also read that this could even result in some sort of death penalty. I think. I'm not sure about that. I'm not quite sure about the laws. I believe that I read somewhere that this could constitute as a result of the death penalty. That's a bit extreme. There's a lot of questions. What government were they exchanging this with? What government was looking for this information? They haven't disclosed that yet as well. It's really concerning, guys. This is a lot of information exchange. So pivoting on, some still high level people within our government and within intelligence. Excuse me. Pentagon's first software chief quits because China has already won global tech war. Okay, I really want to pick the brain of my friend loyal to the foil. She actually has her own channel here on YouTube, Space Force News. This is actually some really interesting. This is a really interesting topic, and she knows a lot about this. As you guys may or may not know, I'm going to kind of look at the comments here. But China is really, really ahead. Like, they have some technology out there that is so far from our dimension, like it seems like, and I could be literal or metaphorical about that. They have so much advanced technology. I can't even fathom what they have. Apparently there was some sort of like supersonic like soldier that they were enhancing. There was some abilities that they were also enhancing in these service members of theirs. Yeah. So I believe this. So he's basically, this Pentagon software chief is basically saying, look, I quit. China wins. They're going to dominate everything. We've seen everything. And that's big of him to say. Pentagon's first software chief said he quit because China has already won super tech war, guaranteeing global dominance with some U.S. government systems were kindergarten level in comparison. Nicholas Shylin, 37, told the Financial Times on Sunday that there is no good reason to be angry at the U.S. failing to rise. I'm sorry, he says that there is a good reason to be angry at the U.S. failing to rise in China's super threat, even fearing that it puts his children's future at risk. He says, we have no competing fighting chance against China at 15 to 20 years right now. It's already a done deal. He says, it's already over in my opinion. Shylin, who is the Pentagon's first chief software, said China will dominate the future in the world by controlling everything from the media narratives and geopolitics. If that's not yet already a reality right now, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, it almost seems like that's already a thing. Like, this is already something that's happening. So this is not far-fetched for anybody to believe. This is not at all far-fetched for anybody to believe. This seems to be that this has already been happening a long time ago. He claimed that the U.S., like Beijing, should have prioritized artificial intelligence, machine learning, and cyber capabilities over traditional military spending, like building new fighter jets. Whether it takes a war or not this kind of anecdotal, he told the paper of his prediction of China's route to future dominance, world dominance. He attacked Google for not working on AI with the U.S. Defense Department, like Chinese companies are obliged to work with Beijing. The U.S. also is wasting time debating on the ethics of AI, while China makes a massive investment and eschews such concerns. Some U.S. government cyber defense systems are also dated. They're merely kindergarten level, he insisted. While wasted time on bureaucracy or adversaries moved further ahead, Shylin said, at this point, I'm just tired of continuously chasing support and money to do my job. He said at the pioneering Pentagon job, he was probably the most challenging and infuriating time of my career. Shylin told the Financial Times that he plans in the coming weeks to testify to Congress about the Chinese cyber threat to U.S. supremacy, including classified briefings. The spokesperson at the Department of Air Force told the Financial Times that Frank Kendall, Secretary of the Air Force, has discussed Shaylin's recommendations with him and thanked him for his contributions. Google was not immediately available for comment, Reuters said. Reuters, sorry. People get mad at me when I say Reuters. Reuters! It comes as a new poll shows that 9 in 10 Americans are at least somewhat concerned about hacking, while 2/3 of them say that they're very extremely concerned. The poll by the Pearson Institute and the Associated Press shows that roughly 3/4 also eye the Chinese and Russian governments as major threats of cybersecurity of the U.S. government. Okay, so two things. It's strange that he mentioned Google, which obviously, you know, in my opinion, they have their faults too. They definitely have their faults over at Google World. I'm kind of mixed about, well, I don't know. If you guys have seen, there's this documentary I love this documentary called The Surveillance Capitalism. I believe it's on YouTube somewhere as well. Look, I don't know what to say about this, because technically, you know, I get it, because YouTube they have their algorithms, they have their data tracking. They already track us. You know what I mean? Like it's a thing. I mean, it's not even something that I have to prove. That they track us. But they also commoditize our mistakes. Like, they also commoditize very little specific details. So that's a little bit concerning that he's like, hey, we should have been working with Google on this. We should have been, commoditizing user data of some sort, artificial intelligence. It's kind of scary. It kind of teeters, I understand, because China's going to do it anyway. I mean, they're already draconian. They already have their measures. They already have a total control of their country and their people. You know what I mean? So it's not far-fetched for China to do it, of course, because they have full, capitalism on data. But I don't know. This is a bit of a, I don't know. I feel like I need to do a little collaboration piece on Loyal to the Foil, because I could see what he's saying. Like, we needed to get ahead and to actually compete with China, and we haven't. They're just, far better in scale with their technology. Actually, that's actually a rabbit hole that I want to go down. But I don't know. We're a free, or we used to be a free society, at least. We used to be a free society, and I don't know, using user data to create, artificial intelligence and actually competing with China just sounds like, it doesn't sound like any better, but I guess it's a pick your poison type thing. You know what I mean? Woo! All right. Pivoting on. Let's pivot on to some more news. All right. Did you guys see this? This was today that this news broke out. Okay, actually, I have a personal sort of experience with the comic, thing. DC Comics announces its new Superman will come out as bisexual. And this is really, I mean, the comic industry has already been, in my opinion, how do I put this? The comic industry has been swayed a certain way. You know what I mean? I actually started getting into comics when there was like the big superhero movie boom. I wanted to get into comics. I wanted to see, and there was little geeky things that I was into like growing up. But I especially wanted to get into, comics and all that. But what really turned me off, there was actually one of my favorite, I actually had a favorite character. And this was like maybe 3 or 4 years ago. It's strange, how much this has progressed. But I was actually interested in following the character of Angela, and she was a Spawn, like she originated in the Spawn comics, and I think Marvel actually bought her, like her licensing from Spawn, and they actually made her Thor's sister. And it was a really interesting story. Like, it was the story that captivated me. And so I just kind of started following this character called Angela. She has like these really gorgeous long orange hair. She's like an angel. I think she belongs to like this kind of like Amazonian female type of troop of fighters in Thor world. You know what I mean? And she ended up being like Thor's secret sister. So it was a very interesting storyline. Like, I was really interested in actually like having her as a favorite Marvel character. Also because like not a lot of people knew about her. But then as I was following her storyline in Marvel Comics, like it just started, like I was like, wait, what did I walk into? Like, so she's like had this really organic story, like as I just explained about her being Thor's sister. Thor's secret sister, and being a possible princess and all this, and then it like transformed, like it was like, and okay, I'm just gonna go through it. It transformed, her story transformed where she had like this best friend, right? It was like this best friend, this sidekick, and it was a dude, right? I believe. Was it a dude or was it a female? Anyway. Her sidekick ended up turning trans, okay? And then she ended up falling in love with her trans sidekick. Like, it was, it was a mind boggler because it was so confusing. I wanted to follow her story. You know what I mean? Like, and then it just got turned into this whole thing. So anyway, if you guys follow, I'm actually a big fan of 𝘸𝘠𝘬𝘢, 𝘱𝘰𝘵𝘮𝘢, I think like 6 something. 𝘱𝘰𝘵𝘮𝘢 is a great channel to follow. I've actually, followed him for a while, but he goes through a lot of these things, like a lot of these cultural, comic things. And again, like, I'm not like, I just got interested in her storyline because, I got interested in the whole movie thing, the trend a couple years ago. So I organically like tried to follow the story, and then I kind of fell into this like, what happened to her story? Like, what happened to Angela, and why is she, why is her sidekick having a sex change, and then like, and then she's falling in love. It just like confused me. So I say all that because I'm sure that a lot of people who have probably followed avidly, before the whole superhero movie trending thing a couple years ago, they're avid comic followers. I'm sure they're all like frustrated because it's like, why can't we just let characters be characters? Like, I don't know. If you follow his content, you'll know what I'm talking about. He makes a lot of great points about token characters and about, originality and all these things. So anyway, Superman is now bi, apparently. This is from Washington Post. Your friendly things at your friendly people at Washington Post. Should they call them AC/DC Comics? Maybe so, Zimu. Maybe so. Because this is some strange stuff. This is some strange stuff going on. Anyway, this is what Washington Post has to say about this. DC Comics announced Monday that its new Superman will come out as bisexual in the upcoming issue of Superman Sun Kal-El #5 by writer Tom Taylor and John Timms. I've always said everyone needs heroes and everyone deserves to see them in their heroes, and I'm grateful DC and Warner Brothers share this idea, Taylor said. Superman's symbol has always stood for hope, truth, and for justice. Today, that symbol represents much more. And it's like I think a minority is like asking for this. Like, not a lot of people are asking for this. You know what I mean? Like, anyway. Jonathan Kent, the 17-year-old son of Clark Kent and reporter Lois Lane, has all the same powers as his dad. NPR's resident comic book aficionado Glenn Weldon reports, due to this, John will pick up the mantle of Superman while his pop, OG Man of Steel, does some superheroing in space for an infinite amount of time. Basically, they're changing the storyline. Guys, let me know in the comments below. Like, there's a comment here by Nancy. My 3-year-old just saw on Today Superman kissing I don't know who, but he said, Nona, why is Superman kissing a man? Really, though, I need to talk about this BS to my 3-year-old. That's the thing, guys. And look, that's a great point. This is a 3-year-old, somebody's, that this commenter is making a great comment on. The fact that a 3-year-old who, by the way, like, has no cognizance of what the world is trying to impose on him, you know what I mean? Or her or him. Her. Can already assess and understand that, hey, this is like abnormal, or like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not dogging on grown adults who want to like make their decisions and stuff like that. Like, I don't always have to agree with it. But it's like, why are you trying to shove this down everybody's throats? But the fact that a 3-year-old can question that and just automatically know, like, hey, yo, something like that is a very uncomfortable thing to have to explain now. Like, that shouldn't have to be a thing. You know what I mean? Like, that shouldn't have to be a thing that you have to like get out of your comfort zone to explain to a 3-year-old or for adolescents that are growing up and just seeing this world. Like, it's just so strange, you know, and I just really feel for parents. I'm not a parent, but I feel for y'all, because it's like, these kids are growing up in an internet age, like at least for millennials and Gen Xers and even boomers, you know, we've grown up seeing an analog side of history where, you know, you actually had to read the comics. You actually had to read the newspaper on a paper. You actually had to, be attached to the phone cord. You actually had to do these things, you know, and now they're all growing up in an information age where all of this stuff is at it's all at their fingertips, all this information. And so now it's like, you know, if, God protect your 3-year-olds, because it's like, you can't even control what they see wherever. And now they're questioning it. Like, you can't control it. It is so crazy. I like the things that they're just trying to shove down everybody's throats. You know, it's have your own comic. Like, where's the originality? They have to, like, again, like, they have to inject these storylines with known characters, because it almost seems like they're not creative enough to create these things. And even when they are, you know, it even shows like they've created these whole squads and troops and, you know, new things again. I think, was it DC or Marvel? I think it was Marvel. Again, Young Grippa, go check out his channel. He has like all these things where he's criticizing these new squads where it's like, yo, this is a woke squad. Like, nobody identifies with these characters. And yet they get like these comic series, they get discontinued because they're not doing good. Nobody's asking for this. Oh gosh. So anyway, Superman is now by, guys. Apparently. This is I don't know where this is going. Well, we know where this is going, but you know what I mean. Oh, cheese and crackers. All right. Pivoting on to the next news piece. All right. Children in NASA's space video with Kamala Harris are actors and had to audition for the part. Let's watch this because I haven't watched this video yet. Oh, it's a 9-minute video. Is there a shorter clip? Maybe. We'll watch a little bit of it. Uh-oh. We'll watch a little bit of it.
Hi, I am NASA astronaut 𝘱𝘂𝘮𝘀 aboard the International Space Station with a challenge. This year during Space Week, I challenge you to go outside and look at the moon. Go to your local observatory or look up with your own eyes, or maybe...
My name is Trevor, and I'm from Monterey, California. Hi, I'm Sydney, and I'm from Iowa City, Iowa. NASA? Wait, NASA? Who's from NASA?
Please hold for a transmission from the International Space Station.
Really? Oh my gosh, that's so cool!
I mean, they seem a little bit actory, yeah? I mean, they seem a little bit over the target there. Okay, let's continue. I mean, like, they're really expressive. They do seem like child actors. Let's just continue.
Are we ready to go, team? The journey starts in DC.
No way! Guys, we got a message.
Hey, team, if you're going to build your own telescope, it might help to see how one works first. Head over to...
No, every day. There it is! So
Oh gosh, here we go.
that perhaps you can share with us today. Of the Senate.
I'm so sorry, guys, but we've got to cringe together.
And the head of the Space Council.
Well, welcome, you guys.
Welcome.
Ready to start? Okay, go. So, I may not always be fast to take my parents. You know, one of the most important pieces of advice that I can...
Uh-oh. Sorry. My bad. My bad. My bad. Let's get that back. Here we go. Sorry, guys. Sorry. But it was getting to the cringe-worthy part. Let me get it back. Let me get it back. Shoot. Come on. Gosh darn it. Daily Mail video. You gotta fix this. All right, here we go.
Who the head of the Space Council is?
You tell them who you are. Never let anybody suggest to you that you are what they think you should be. You tell them who you are and who you know you are and what you intend to be. Got that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. I got more advice. You just let me know.
So what is the most surprising thing you found about being vice president?
There have been a lot of things because I've never been vice president before. So there are many new things. But I'll tell you one of the things that I'm really excited about, and one of the reasons for our visit and the time we're going to spend time together today is the Space Council. My mom was a scientist, so she would take us to the lab with her, like on the weekends and after school, because she had to work long hours. And I just love the idea of exploring the unknown. And then there's other things that we just haven't figured out or discovered yet. To think about so much that's out there that we still have to learn. Like, I love that. I love that. And so I'm very excited about the Space Council. We're going to learn so much as we increasingly, I think, are curious and interested in the potential for the discoveries and the work we can do in space. So that's one of the things I'm most excited about. But the other, you guys are going to see your own eye. Come on, let's go.
We then headed to the Naval Observatory, where we met Captain Keene and asked him what they did there.
We do time, and we do space. The sky and space has been our clock for centuries. So think of the hours. That's how we used to tell time. Time's very important because let's do it.
So anyway, you guys get the point, right? We watched a little bit of it. We don't have to watch all of it to understand. Like, you guys understand? Guys, these are child actors. Kamala is acting alongside child actors. And then who knows who else is an actor? I mean, this is some pretty damning news. You know what I mean? This is okay, like let's read a little bit up. Grinning school-age children who took part in NASA. This is from the Daily Mail. YouTube video about space exploration featuring Vice President Kamala Harris have been revealed to be a child actors who tried out by reading scripts. The VP took part in Get Curious with Vice President Harris, a video made to celebrate World Space Week that debuted Thursday and took some grief on social media when her wide-eyed explanations about the wonders of space. I just love the idea of exploring the unknown. Harris gushed dramatically to a group of 5 child actors in the video of the Naval Observatory where the vice president's residence is located. Tucker Carlson called the video fake and fraudulent while talking about it with fellow conservative Candace Owens on his talk show on Fox News. So for humanitarian reasons, we're not going to play that video, but it's online. Oh my God, Tucker's so based. He ripped into Harris for hiring child actors instead of recruiting kids who are passionate about the space industry. That is hilarious. Actually, this is the first time that I ever see this. And actually this was tweeted out by DJT just a couple hours ago. So this is pretty fresh off the press. This is hilarious, guys. So she actually acted alongside child actors. This is what DJT Jr. had to say. Just when he thought that the most fake human being in history of the world couldn't get any more phony, here's this. Her commitment to cringe is truly impressive. Kamala Harris hired child actors to be part of her widely mocked NASA space video. Oh my gosh, this is it's incredible. I mean, without saying so much, you know what I mean? Like without saying so much, without saying what we all want to say about space and NASA. What I will say is that It's very telling that they have to hire actors for a space video and for, you know, some sort of, I don't know, like explanation. It's just, it's like, what else are they acting about? You know what I mean? Like, who all are the actors in this video besides the kids and Kamala, obviously? You know, who all else are out of the actors? And then, like, what else are they lying to us about? Like, this is insane to me. This is insane. I'm gonna have to find that clip from Tucker Carlson because that is absolutely hilarious. I actually can't believe that this is like blatant, like this is true thing. Let me see if I can find any other sauce on the child actors before I go on. There's other. Let me see what else. Oh, here we go. I'm gonna switch to the sauce screen. Here we go. Here's the sauce screen. The sauce. Here's the sauce. The video was produced by a foreign film production company, Canada's Sinking Ship Entertainment. A Canadian company for crying out loud. Like, we have enough production companies in the U.S., right? And we're doing a U.S. themed video on NASA. You know what I mean? Our space program, but we need a Canadian, like, no disrespect to Canada. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Like, anyway, there's a lot of points to that. But anyway, Canada's Sinking Ship Entertainment. The production cost seems unknown. Production cost? Space? NASA? Say it ain't so. Children took part in an event, appeared to be delighted to be there. They were child actors who tried out to be in videos. California station KSBW reported, ooh, here's some more sauce. Oh gosh, I got more sauce for you guys. Monterey resident Trevor Bernardino, who's 13, told the station that he was a space enthusiast who tried out for the role, only to be gobsmacked when he learned that he would be traveling to Washington, D.C. to take part in the video. He tried out by sending in a monologue and providing 3 questions he would ask the world leader. Then after that, like a week after my agent called me, he was like, hey, Trevor, you booked it, he said. He was one of 5 teens who participated. He was joined by Derek Brooks, another child actor, some other child actors, and NASA astronaut 𝘱𝘂 Kimbrough took part from the International Space Station. Harris tweeted out the video on October 7th. Let's take a look at some other sauce. Let's see what they have to say. Here we go.
A local teenage actor is being featured in a new YouTube Kids special alongside a NASA astronaut and Vice President Kamala Harris. Action News 8 reporter Alani Latang spoke with him about how he landed the opportunity.
A new YouTube Kids special kicking off World Space Week, Get Curious with Vice President Kamala Harris, aims to get children interested in space. NASA astronaut 𝘱𝘂 Kimbrough joins from the International Space Station. Vice President Kamala Harris teaming up.
Oh, come on. Why now? Why buffer now?
Let's do it.
Get curious!
The special features 5 teens from across the country, including our very own Central Coast backyard.
Hi, my name is Trevor, and I'm from Monterey, California.
The teens are actors who audition for their spots. Trevor is a freshman at York School in Monterey and a space enthusiast. He says he had to send in a monologue of him talking about something he's passionate about, and 3 questions he would ask a world leader. The next step, he had to interview the director of the production.
And then after that, like a week later, my agent called me and he's like, hey, Trevor, you booked it.
From there, Trevor only knew he was going to Washington, D.C. in August to interview someone.
Me, my mom, my dad, we were speculating who could be this important that we meet them in D.C. and we get to go on this cool trip and film.
In D.C., the kids visited the Naval Observatory, where they went on a scavenger hunt to find supplies to build a telescope, with clues given by astronaut Kimbrough. The teens also...
Come on, buffer.
Also learned about time before the head of the Space Council arrived.
Are you kidding? The head of the Space Council is the Vice President!
To think about so much that's out there that we still have to learn. Like, I love that. I love that.
The most exciting part was definitely meeting Vice President Harris. There's nothing that can top that. Like, honestly, she just sat us down. She's super charismatic. She's everything that I ever thought of her, plus more. She made me feel like one of her peers, and at the time, I felt super...
Oh, sweetheart. Oh, sweetheart. Oh, sweetheart. Oh, no. You did? You did? Oh, gosh, guys. Oh, sweetheart.
important. I was talking to her face to face.
The kids got a chance to look through the observatory's telescope, seeing the sun, a sunspot the size of Earth, the craters of the moon. But the most important lesson Trevor is walking away with:
you should always listen to your parents. They're going to give you the best advice for your whole entire life when you become an adult.
In Monterey, I'm Natly Denise, KSBW Action News 8.
Good advice, Trevor.
How hilarious is that they did a local news report on the child actor making the whole entire bust for the freaking for Kamala Harris's little acting suite. Wow, that is hilarious. That's really hilarious, actually. How sweet is that kid? How sweet is that kid? I love Kamala Harris more. She's everything that I thought. I mean, how endearing. I mean, that's crazy. But again, that's again very telling. They had child actors, NASA, Kamala Harris, this astronaut, from the space station. You know what I mean? I can't say a lot, but I got some thoughts on it. I got some opinions on it. I just think that's very funny. So anyway, guys, it's too much. It really is. It's too much. So welcome to Clown World Day. I don't know, the 11th day of October. This was your Nightly with Natly. Guys, thank you so much for participating in this channel. Thank you again for always supporting me. Thank you for loving me. You guys always rock. Hey, be sure to share this channel with somebody, because for the time being, this is where I'm going to have to go live. If anything, I'm going to go live here from now on. So, I would really love the support there. Thank you to my mods out there. Thank you for sharing and also encouraging people to share this podcast, as well as all the other things that you guys do in moderating. Guys, have a great night. Have a great night's sleep. I'm going to go rest this voice and do a little editing. I hope you guys have a great one. I will see you, God willing, tomorrow. Until then, you guys rock. I'll talk to you later.
Thank you so much for tuning in to Unravel with Natly Denise. Please give this podcast 5 stars.